Welcome back. I just discovered that you can set the age range on Tinder to only teens. But more on that later. Hashtag sexpisode. Adding to the ever-increasing list of evidence against the legitimacy of those pesky commie bastards, Amazon announced that it will raise its minimum wage to $15 an hour. There's been some confusion as to the reasoning. However, saggy socialist Bernie Sanders praised Jeff Bezos for his decision, foolishly missing the fact that for this coming holiday season, Amazon needs to hire 100,000 new workers and needed a strong incentive amidst the lower unemployment rate. Those cover me Kavanaughs aren't going to box themselves. This new labor shortage runs parallel to a terrifying new development. Sperm count around the world is falling at a rapid rate. Much like my erection when I say the word sperm. Hashtag sexpisode. While we are unsure of the exact cause of this, other than the increasing toxins in our air, our drinking water, and the constant presence of known radioactive devices inches away from our testicles, Amazon is committed to prepare itself and the human race for the inevitable consequences of our careless actions. Here to fill us in is a representative from Amazon, fertility specialist Rob M.I. Johnson. Thanks for coming, Johnson.
Well, I sure hope I didn't do so too quickly. But seriously, the pressing issues of both economic development and decreasing male fertility is one that Amazon is strongly committed to address.
That's so great that we have a consumer-focused, benevolent, trillion-dollar corporation that really does care about all of us and will make sure that future generations don't suffer from today's soy boy cucks and their low sperm count.
Well, I'm sure glad you're as enthusiastic as I am. Now, for the sake of transparency, yes, we did increase our minimum wage to $15 to attract new employees in response to this low amount of people in need of a job at the moment.
That's right. The economy under Trump has been doing tremendously well.
Yep. 8 years worth of post-recession reform will do that for you. But just as there is a labor shortage, we've also come up, of course, with a shortage in male reproductive cells per nut. Along with our wage increase, we have installed brand new facilities in all of our Amazon fulfillment centers all across the country. All employees will now have immediate access to these special sperm spaces, these stroking structures, these masturbation stations, if you will. Patented already years in advance. If these private, discrete locations conveniently spread all over the building, but not in its hair, I swear to God, our employees will be able to make their deposits at any point throughout the workday.
Wait, hold on. Is this like that episode of South Park?
Oh, that's right. The Come and Joke Minds of Mars, Season 20, Episode 10. In which humans, having colonized the Red Planet, harvest semen from all men by force in underground farms. Our model is nothing like that. It's strictly voluntary. And think about our reputation as a workplace. During a long, stressful, physically taxing shift, taking a break to rub one out is just what the doctor ordered.
Well, you can't argue with science. But what exactly do you intend to do with all the deposits, hashtag sexpisode, your employees make?
Remember when I said our plan was nothing like the South Park episode? So it's a little bit like that South Park episode. 1/10 to be exact. 10% of our deposits will go into our reserves to be shipped to Mars in a few years when Blue Origin is ready.
You're still doing that?
We going to Mars, bitches! The United States of Space! Ben jealous for governor.
What?
All right, so yes, once we've set up shop on Mars, this reserve will be there in case our brave pioneers run into any issues and need to help maintain the population size, just as a precaution.
Okay, but what about the other 90%?
Oh, that stays here, on a tarmac, just a few miles away from the people who desperately need it. Oh, I'd kill myself. No, the remaining 90% will go into our terrestrial reserves, of course, to be distributed as needed and to save us a few future business expenses. Essentially, with this new strategy, Amazon plans to kill two birds with one stone.
You mean both the sperm shortage and the labor shortage?
Again, strictly voluntary. If you work for Amazon and sign a contract consenting to our ownership of your unwanted fruits of manual labor, your seed will not go to waste. Now, this is for several generations down the line. You know how Amazon likes to plan for the long term. It is our intention to start manufacturing our own workers as the gaps between available positions and people on the job market continue to widen.
Did you just say you're going to genetically engineer human beings for cheap labor?
You misunderstand. I said nothing about them being human.
You're going to make horse people?
Oh, you're too funny. Drawing inspiration from one of Amazon's most popular book purchases, our already patented method will include variations similar to alphas, betas, gammas, deltas, and epsilons.
Wait. Aren't betas the whole reason we're in this mess in the first place?
Okay, you don't read. That's fine. But rest assured, the future of Amazon, and by extension, our species as a whole, is in capable hands, hairy though the palms may be. Soon, we will have a new class of members of our Amazon family with unquestioning loyalty, some with brute strength, some with complex comprehension of mathematics, some that are bred for and only for sealing that world-famous smiley arrow box with a strip of duct tape. Oh, wonder, how many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is! A brave new world that has such people in it!
That's news to me. Rob and Mike Johnson, everybody. Thanks for coming on. Hashtag sex episode coming on. This segment of the show has been brought to you by Amazon Fleshlight. Alexa, call me daddy. But let's shift to the most overlooked part of the sexual relations. The balls. But not just any old pair of slimy spheres. I'm talking about the big old brass ones on the 40 acres. You've all seen it. It's the most photographed part of the UT campus. Lining up the ball sculpture with the tower to make it look like a schlong and balls has been a time-honored tradition that Greg Fenves set in motion in the early 1920s. Over the years, students have laughed, cried, and even made sweet, beautiful love under the ball statue. But of course, only when it was angled to where it looked like a penis and balls with the tower. Well, hold on to your towers, because next week, one brave student will take the 1 millionth picture in front of the UT penis and balls. That's right, 1 million. Wow, we really made it. If my tear ducts hadn't been super glued shut by that 19-year-old girl, Logan Thomas, I would start weeping, because this is a truly groundbreaking moment in UT history. The aforementioned student, Freddie Chapton, will be photographed in a silly pose with his tongue sticking out. Our sources say that Chapton will try multiple poses, but the millionth picture will be taken just before he says, "Okay, let's try a silly one now." As soon as the news breaks, Greg Fenves will immediately stop eating his prized transcript money envelopes and spring into action. "Hark," he will proclaim to the masses. "The student known as Frederick Chapton is now the acting president of UT." Chapton will protest, saying that even on his birth certificate, his name's Freddie, not Frederick. However, the protests will be in vain, as he will quickly assume the responsibilities of president of UT. Greg Fenves will reportedly comment that Chapton possesses a sizable amount of big tower energy. Chapton's agenda as president will emphasize the magical nature of the infamous photo location. All tour groups will be rerouted to the location as a mandatory stop at 3 separate times during the tour. Chapton believes that the importance and history of the location cannot be learned through just one trip. The logo of UT will also be changed from a longhorn into a penis. This will not only reflect the tower, but also that terrible clocks, not glocks movement, not to mention penises. UT has a long and diverse history with PPs, and it's about to get a whole lot more expensive, like my PP. Wow, what a way to end our hashtag sexpisode. That's all the time we have for today. I hope you have all been essentially appeased by my voice cracks. Our final prediction is that you'll be watching us again at the same time next week. My name is Davis Grant, and this has been Next Week Now. Have a good night.